Hey FD8 warriors, let's go to an update. I cease the training day every day. I am happy because I can eat, train, sleep, repeat, and I love to focus on my daily work, and that is to stay happy. That I do not choose to do what most people think is the way to live, which is you're gonna follow whatever trend, whatever fear, whatever is going on in the whole world. Bring it home, make sure you never have peace of mind at all. That is the way I feel that most people think that is the way to live. And that makes me so grateful that I'm a loner who just happen to have a dichotomous personality, because I have all this passion and love for all my children, my clients, my fitness friends, for all the people who struggle with understanding what is the right way to get healthy and fit and happy and keep that for life, as in actually wanting to invest to build up a healthy, happy body life that you would be proud of if you have children, to show and to lead your family, your children, your continuation, your gene pool in life. And that is going to be a slippery slope, because if you're like me, you notice it's like a kindergarten candy land, and we have temptations all over. And that is the fast food place, and it's everything is calling to your heart and your mind, and you are greedy, feedy, you want to eat and then you don't. So remember now that the whole quest on what you say is what you want, and you tell me it's balance, that you want to have a healthy, happy balance in your life. So balance is a thing that requires then, I'm thinking, what is it that you're trying to balance? Is it healthy eating? Is it training? Is it the workload? It turns down to this. You want to have the perfect fit body the way you have your ideal, and you don't want to work for it. You just want to work for a project time so you can build the body, and then you want to keep the body like in a garage and just hold on to that. And when you notice that result of holding on to maintaining, you never get there, because before you're going to maintain, what happens? You fall off, you fall into, and you succumb into your weak mind, and you ask your weak friends, you ask everyone who is weak, which you see is strong, because everyone who's got a big fat ego up the arse, including myself, in an earlier era too, and a little bit every day. If you listen to them, you're gonna run on fears, you just don't know it. It's so hard to be happy if you're gonna follow the herd, because the herd mentality is, if you're not gonna have it done in 2 days, it's not worth it. What I've learned in working with people is the resistance to actually get the solution. The resistance to learn what is going to set you free, there's resistance. So I'm like a mother with all these children, and I have this storm in my mind right now as I'm thinking, how am I going to start? It's a Monday. And when I go into FD8, I can see already that very few people do pay attention, because it's more interesting to keep on trying what you always fail at than it is to succeeding. Because if you can keep on failing, you can have an excuse to not put out more into yourself. You don't want to invest in yourself because you don't really believe. If you think like that you make investments based on your probability, your likability, that's gonna give you fruit. Imagine now how you're not doing that for yourself, right? Kind of self-explanatory. You're never willing to invest in the only way you can change. That must mean you don't really want to change. And that is what I know. Because how come I freely educate you in all over, tagging you, sharing, mentioning, asking, did you watch my video tutorial? It's not a long marathon Netflix sitcom, which you always have time to watch because it's motivation there again. But you don't really want to take the time to study what I master, which you say, I wonder, what is her secret? That's what everyone wants to know, but you don't want to learn what I do. You don't want to know about my life. You don't want to know anything, because you rather want it to be that I'm just like the rest. You just want it to be that FD8 is just put the name on it, count the calories, eat vegetables, and that's it. So what I notice in my community is this. Very few people realizing that in order to stay motivated, you have to work hard to get results you can see and feel. If you don't work hard to see and feel, you're gonna start delaying or dragging. You're not gonna work as hard. When you don't work all for yourself, and it's about body, you're never gonna get rewarded. I'm sorry to say it, but you cannot try a little and have results in body. Your body's gonna say like, no, hell no, because I know how to keep you at this shape, my friend. So I know I can just reduce all the energy, can drop my metabolism, and increase your cravings and increase your bitchiness. That way I know you're gonna soon be back to your cookie jar. I know that, and you don't, because you think you're tougher and you think you can survive to pick between life and death. You think hunger isn't an issue because you're not hungry right now and you feel you're a little too fat, so you don't really think or feel that you want to eat. So that's a problem. So I'm like a typical mother who gets stressed out about all my children, because when I go into the room, which is like I go into the FD8 community, what I notice there is, first of all, nobody has listened to mom, because I say, why do you keep on wanting to struggle on the things I say I got the solution? Then that is met by resistance to learn. You don't want to hear from me. That's usually when I'm ghosted, because you rather put yourself in a story. I feel like this as a coach, that you go and over to just post, oh, everything is overwhelming, I can't do this, I've tried 2 days, I can't do it, everything is bad, like everything, typical, right? And you just want to quit. And I'm thinking, is that how you live life? If you quit right away, you cannot do anything in life. But it's only when it comes to diet, because here's the thing. In life, I know, if you love something, you want it. So if you love to socialize, you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna have friends, you're gonna take the time, you're gonna party. If you love to travel, you're not gonna be a homebody like me. You're gonna travel the world, you're gonna make the plan, or you're not gonna happen. If you love to go for walks, you are most likely gonna want to walk, so you make it happen. It makes sense to spend time doing what you love the most in life, because that is life quality. I love horses, that's why I'm envisioning my future having horses again. I want to ride horses. But if I sit here and talk about it, how it's never fair because I don't have a horse, and I'm like, I'm not even in the region to have a horse. I'm gonna put it here in Los Angeles, Hollywood, right? I mean, sometimes the cows go loose there, and I say, good for you, cows. But I'm thinking so much about what is going on in the mind of the typical woman, and I have no clue. Because I just see that in my community, the resistance to education is very, very strong. And that's not weird at all. So when you ask yourself, what is wrong with me? How come I don't understand what is wrong with me? How can I be so motivated and go and work so hard, and then I just sabotage? I don't know. And like, yeah, I talked about this lesson for the last 5-10 years, but you waiting for 10 years to get the epiphany, because that's what I know, and it's so good for me. Because I put out my love and passion and dedication every day. For me, I mean, I got all the time in my life to teach you not to ever learn, right? You heard that? I got the whole life for myself to teach you what you never want to teach, but you still struggle, so you want to learn, but you don't, because if you can learn it, what are you going to do to avoid, to actually be able to just see yourself in the mirror, like, wait, I know what to do, what I'm going to do. Yeah, exactly, you're going to succeed. So that is why, because if you find out how to actually succeed at what nobody else can succeed, remember, diet culture, who's got the big balls in money? Yeah, diet culture and big pharma together, right? Perfect. And fast food and food industry. We love to eat. So that is what you gotta know, that you love to eat, and no matter how you try to not want to eat, it would be a fool, only a fool would say, I love to eat, so that's why I don't want to eat, because I'm gonna have the worst diet that has as many eliminations as possible, because if I can eliminate as much as possible from my love, I'm most likely to be happy, because I get to have and do and be around what I love. Said nobody ever, right? So apparently, it must be that everyone is a sadomasochist. Or you just don't know, because you've never been hungry. So all my batteries going on here, so just, if you hear them, it's because I have all my lasers that I do every day. 6 days a week, because if I don't take care of my body like an athlete, I'm not gonna have a body to train like an athlete. So this is like a wind, a storm of everything, because the last months I've been really, I love the coaching, the teaching, the education, but this is what is going on in the FD8. So, now think about this, that you struggle with figure yourself out. The thing is, you always fall away from what is the full seasons. So when you want to live a fitness life and learn what actually takes to stay in shape, you have to do what other people aren't doing. So if you join a coach who only sells you a program and gives up after 2 weeks because they know, just like me, that you have very little interest to actually figure out how to be a lifestyle, you just want to talk about that. Because when it gets tough, you want to be a typical victim mindset, the princess who feels like it's going to be too much struggle to have a broken nail today, which you paid for, so you're not really that poor. And now you're going to say that, well, that sucked, the whole day was gone. That is the victim mindset. If you want to live your life to be that weak, that a broken nail is going to be something that is struggle, I don't want to be you. Because that means you have no reality about what real people have to do to tough it out and still smile. So you gotta have a community that's based on real people and get to know real people by actually spending time and not be seasonal. Because you know what? When I was a kid, I remember in the summertime, every summer there are friends who just come and visit for a few weeks and then they fly away again. The tourists, the seasonal ones, they're just there for a time and then they leave. And I remember how I felt like, why am I investing in you guys when you're not going to be here when it's darker times anyway? You're not here when it's cold, you're just here in the summertime, when it's fun and it's easy. And that is also why I don't commit to anyone in my life but myself, as in I have my true loyal friends, and those I fight for you are those. But I also know that if I were part of this, I would be very miserable, because I would hate to give up on my life because I'm going to follow what someone else says about me. I would hate to be one who feel like I have to be validated and appreciated by others to feel that I can do this. Like you, oh man, do you sit and hold on to all these insecurities and you think that's the way to be happy, to always keep on doing what you've always done. So how I see it as a mother of all these children, that, you know, my mother, you know, if you're mother, you know how you feel, so you can handle it. That I'm terrified about seeing how you don't want to be present in your own life. I'm terrified to see that you just quit because one little moment in your day you're not motivated. I'm thinking that breaks the whole system. That I don't know how to make you want to wake up to see that every day you make it into starting over, you're getting worse and worse into your same pattern. You just repeat it one more time so it gets harder ironed into your mind. And here I am trying to somehow find a way to penetrate your brain or mind, and I don't really know how, because there's the block. You got a cock block on me, but I'm not a cock, I'm a hummingbird. Or, you know, you don't really want to know what you say you want to know, so when I come to the lessons, I know that's when you usually say, no, not today, Pauline. You are good in a little portion. When I feel stressed out and agitated that I'm not my best friend, that's when I want to talk to you. But after 2 weeks and so on, I go into the diet depression, and I don't want to talk to get out of the diet depression, because I'm a typical person who loves to thrive on negativity until I get so mad at myself. I'm going to live on my mad energy to get my motivation to lose the fat again and get going. Doesn't have to feel good, just got to get it done, because that's a tough person you think you are. But you're not. Because that never happens, you just talk. And then usually that is what you come and live in the past again. You tell me, Pauline, I don't understand, I used to be able to stay strong. I competed, and I got so lean, I love my dream body, and now I'm older and COVID. I'm like, what happened? And this is where you forgot that you never took the time to study the difference between getting in shape for competition and staying lean like you are for life. You never. So every time after some motivation on being on a project where you have a deadline, like a diet, until you celebrate the post-contest, you're gonna have to eat what you haven't had sometime, you're gonna reward yourself, and you're part of everyone else who thinks that's a human right, to after each time of healthy living, you're gonna junk it up again and fatten up and restart the yo-yo. The funny thing is now we're in a time in the life, I think it's really good to just, I'm putting it there for you to kind of stop being a girl, grow up. That we are now not that young, so the way you live your life is reflecting on cholesterol, your lipids, your liver, your circumference around your waist, your blood pressure, a lot of breast cancer, which should make you motivated to think that all you eat becomes the messengers for your cells and what they're gonna do. So they impact and influence your DNA. And you think it doesn't really matter that you love your ultra-processed foods that influence everything, that completely orchestrate how to get you back to eat again, and you don't think that's a problem, right? Why? Well, because you kind of want it, right? So you want the drug and you don't want the addiction. You kind of, again, don't really want to be responsible, but you want your freedoms. But when you have freedoms without discipline and no way of moderating your moderations, guess what? You are like a kid in a candy land. You don't know what to do with yourself, so you go all out. That's why you have to always be on a diet plan forever, because you don't know how to handle freedom. And apparently you don't have enough interest to learn because you're terrified. You're scared of giving up, and everything I say is a waste of time. So you keep on tracking and weighing and obsessing and tracking calories in and calories out. Meanwhile, I say, I never do that, so what is the problem here? And then you kind of just want to keep on working the same simple meals because it just has to be simple until you realize you're not that simple, so you stop. What are you going to do about it? And then that's crickets again, because I ask the questions you don't have answers for. Because you haven't thought about it. So what happens then, level number 2, right, is the offensive defense mode that you project all your pride, fears, victim mentality, shame, guilt, feeling that you should be ideal, perfect, that you are never good enough, all the things you've been conditioned by culture and your upbringing and yourself to hold on to believe about yourself. This is what you keep on thinking, and then what you keep on thinking is your belief. So you and I believe in different things. I believe in passion, to remember what matters, and to focus on staying present. So for me, my whole life is to seize the day. And not the way I'm gonna remember that I hated today, yesterday, tomorrow. For me, it's all about knowing that if today is the last day I live, I'm gonna make sure I do what I love, and that means I'm gonna die loving what I do, and that's the way I love to live. But the other side of the spectrum are the people who are living in fears, holding on to everything, and search for new things to keep you always stressed out to the bottom of your heart, so you can never have peace of mind, which you all can have if you choose to practice how to have peace of mind. And when you ask me about meditation, I just want to tell you a thing like this. From baseline up to 5 years of bodybuilding training, you make the greatest work. You have from nothing to kind of you have maximized your genetic potential, let's say, to baseline. Like this is gonna be pretty hard but easy work. But up to 5 years, and after that, it's gonna get tougher and tougher to build upon, because your body's designed to resist further refinery. Because more means it's more costly to keep alive. So your body always thinks about how can we preserve the energy while you want to lose more fat, which means you have to know that when you feel fatigued and tired and exhausted and you go with the energy, it's the same thing as you pick it between two, should I be happy or sad? And you make the call for be sad because you get more out of sadness. It's easier energy than to keep yourself happy, especially against the stream. And the whole stream is all sad, 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 because we love to feel blue. So when you now try to think, what is wrong with me? Why don't I want to be happy? It's because for you, happiness is only when you're on drug addiction kind of mentality. So you have something on your mouth that is ecstasy, that is not healthy, it's not moderation, it gives you guilt because you always overdo it. So it's not about the food per se in moderation. I'm not talking about that. That's how you project that into how I'm evil, how I'm the scapegoat, how everything I say is about you. That is just a sign that you have no clue about who you are. And you keep on having that. So let me just say, so in 5 years of bodybuilding training, you're gonna have a massive physique built. Now, the same thing applies to meditation and mind strength. And I started in November 2019 and committed the same way I did for bodybuilding. And I was already strong-minded to start. Guess what? It has the same powerful effect on my mind as my bodybuilding journey for my body and my mind. So I have like cherry on the top in my life in happiness and bliss and a revelation for myself. How do you get that? How do you do that by practice? And now one day of my meditation practice not today. I do all kind of variations of meditation to keep it up. So I don't just sit, I do all kinds. Not one day have I let be. So I'm really, really strong in meditation. That means I have been rewarded very fast because I don't just meditate when I feel good. I do it to make sure I stay feeling good. Because the practice of the happy mood, to remember what matters, to hold on to hope, to not give up on what is good, to see and choose to always do what is hard, to self-motivate. Because if you don't, you're gonna be like the rest of the world, feeling like, what are we doing? Why are we so bad? Look at all the fears and all the suffering in the whole world. Yes, that's what you gotta remember. And the only way to change the world is to be the change yourself, like Gandhi said. What is it the change you should do, in my opinion? Is to stop restarting, stop playing, stop repeating, stop believing the same thing you always believe that doesn't work. So it's not true. So if you believe in something that is not working and you keep on believing it, you see what happens? You are falling for your own myths. Now you think also that you're so simple, so you're a mythical creature for yourself. So all these things become really transparent and overt when I'm a coach and I'm so engaged in all my clients, because here's the thing. I know you want me to be like the regular coaches who just show up when you want to work and forget you when you don't, because that way I can never get to know you. You can always save your face. So since you never get to know me, you can consider me and treat me like I'm not really a real person. I'm always going to be around for you to sign up for something and try a little bit again. Well, I'm not about that at all, because I'm a loner and I'm my best friend, right? So I kind of love my life in quality time. So if I would never hang out with people with that mindset if I wasn't a coach. So why am I coaching people if I feel like that? Because I don't do it to relate. I don't do it because I need a society culture for myself to do what I need. No, I do this as a commitment for my life, what I'm doing for people. And I must say that I know that you're not doing what you need to do. It doesn't matter how much you want to hold up your facade, because you keep on crawling back in the end anyway when you notice that nobody else cares, including yourself. And that terrifies you, because you might want to be around for your grandchildren. So I have to tell you, I have to talk to you like, wait, let me just do my batteries here. Gotta do it done before. It's leg day today. Okay, all are here. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's just consider me myself a mother now, and I know the dangers in the world, so I'm just gonna now think that I am a mother. I have 5 kids, my sister has 5 kids, so I know about that. When I go to the store and I see how the mothers are leading their children, I want to take over their cart and educate them in the store, because I see that they're paying more money for what looks healthy, believing in the claims, being too stressed out about seeing nutrition and ingredients. So you end up losing money, not getting leaner, not healthier, and you're eating more calories because the food you choose is holy cows diet junk. So you buy bags that have extra stuff in it, you think it's just salad. No, it has almonds, so it's like eating nut butter. You don't think it matters what is sugar-free versus calorie-free versus no sugar and artificial flavored, no chemicals, naturally flavored, naturally sweetened. You have no clue what is what, and you just go and look for what is easy online. And that is where you and I are separating ourselves, divorce, because you want to, or you choose to see everything that is new and might kill you because it's another fear-mongering food now, and I just don't have the policy. I want to have as much freedom in my healthy life as possible, freedom from my mind, so that is why I don't want to seek out what can kill me most today in things that most likely are not gonna matter anyway. It's like I don't know how to explain to children that if you don't learn the basics, you can't build upon that. If you don't know how to decipher a label, if you can't keep simple and know what matters and what doesn't, you don't have a lifestyle to live. If you keep on always going back to basics, you never can level up. You are never going to be there where the day becomes, it's automatic now. So now you know how to live a life, and then when life happens, your busy life takes over, you still can keep up the fitness, healthy life without just stopping. So that's how I feel, that everyone is terrified about health and the consequence of not taking care of your body. Meanwhile, when you have the problem life, you forget without health you have nothing. So that is why I don't know what to say about the way you pamper yourself with crap that kills your body slowly and fattens you up when you are sick. When you are depressed, you eat the crap that you hate later. When you're terrified about your husband or your wife or your children dying from unhealthiness, guess what you do? You are eating what makes you die too, probably. So what is wrong here? Is everyone trying to die as soon as possible? Is that why you don't want to be happy, so you can feel like it's no point to live? It must be, right? So now remember now, you're always happy when you're living your life without thinking about your body and what happens to the consequence. And then you're not happy, you feel despair, and you hate your body, and you, oh, what have I done? And then you have all the agony and the self-loathing, and you want everyone else to talk about your horrible body, and not like you have a perfect body, it's functional, what do you need? So you don't need to have a pretty looking body to have a healthy, fit, strong body, and you don't need to be beautiful to have a really good job, a really good, great life, and to train hard and be happy. That there's so much of your surface that it's never gonna stay strong anyway. So until the day when you are interested in growing wise and older, you're gonna be terrified living in the past. Because you're gonna be like typically women, and I feel so embarrassed about that. That most women seem to cry about how everything was better in the past because you were young and pretty. I'm like, is that your only ambition? You know what is so good is to not care about being a sex object. I couldn't care less about how I am appearing to people who want to get laid or who want to feel that I'm sexy. Like, I really don't care, because if I don't care about being sexy looking or and if I don't care about people's opinion about my personality, I got all the power, because I don't need to hear, I don't care about what you say. So yeah, why would I want you to care about how sexy or how much turn on you are? Exactly, it's too low level. That's the basic way of life. We eat and we have sex so we can stay alive and have the species going. And today on my walk I thought about, I had this moment when the rat saw me on the side, and I looked at the rat, and he was standing still, and I walked slowly by, and we kind of had this connection, like, I get you, I saw you, you saw me too, like, we're gonna pretend we didn't see each other. And then I just had my little prayer in my mind about, to all the species in the whole world, I don't know how unfair it is for you to do your job, like we try and you try to do it, and I hope that all species feel the same way we do, that we feel that we are the epitome, or like we are the highest level, or whatever. I disagree with that, but I hope that all species in the whole world feel like that, because otherwise I will feel so guilty. And the mosquitoes, those are what I think are the champions, because they sure know how to suck the blood out of you. Okay, back to now to this, to be a mother. So for me, I simply live the life and see what you do, and I can tell that there's a reason why you never get to figure it out and you never get to have it done, because you forget that everything falls apart when you forget it's gonna keep on living this lifestyle. So now you're stuck with the same meal plans you got in shape with. Now you're not happy anymore because you forgot that I want to talk to you about the continuation. What happens after some time on a diet, it doesn't matter how many you've been on, it's the same thing, you're gonna get blues. So that's another reason why you can stop complaining and crying about how your friends are on Ozempic and it's unfair that they lose weight without hard work. They can't build muscle on Ozempic without hard work anyway. 2 is, why do you complain when you don't have to have Ozempic? 3, Ozempic is not making you happy anyway. 4, they all regain in the end when they're realizing that you're not happy because you don't get to have the food that makes you happy. You never took the time to learn how to moderate what makes you happy. So now you can't have any moderation, because if you can't have moderation, you're gonna have to give up it all. And that's what you're trying to play, and you never win. You just think that you're tougher, that you don't need to be happy, but it always ends up that you are sad. That is why. So that is why I'm telling you that what I try to make you see my point with all I do to keep you engaged by living the fitness practice life with me in community in FD8 is you forget the fun. You forget that without interest, you're not gonna want to do something that is naturally gonna always be harder than to not do it. That is fitness life. Fitness life, you gotta study the nature of life, and that is including yourself. That if you have no interest in going inwards like I do, to learn what is your issue, what is your insecurities, what is your weakness, how can you make it your strength? If you don't want to do that because it's too much work, it's too embarrassing, too shameful, it's too touchy, too hard for you to want to see yourself in the mirror, to want to go inwards and see what are you, who are you, what are you made of. You rather never get to know who you're spending your whole life with, so you can never be at peace, because you rather just keep on having your demons around. And I know why. Because that way you can pretend that you don't have a way around being an idiot for yourself who keep on sabotaging, just to over and over and over come back and say, I don't know what is wrong with me. Oh, I had a bad moment. Or no, it's all just bullshit. You know what you're doing. I know too. You planned, you want it. You want to have the fun. You want to hope to make it, and it never works. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching you how to win over the scale, to not use the scale as the indicator what to do. I teach you the rhythm of appetite and hunger. I teach you the tsunami waves, why you think you're not eating anything while you are, but you say you can't lose fat. Even though you're not eating, I deal with that. I deal you with the OMAD, I deal you with the training, I deal with the fatigue, I deal with the pains, I deal with the aches, I deal you with how to abbreviate workouts. I teach you how to change the recipes, I tell you how to keep it simple. But all these things, I guess, is nothing that you need, because you just need a life that is 2 weeks long, because you have no plan on committing longer. So then I understand why you don't need these hacks. Because that is why you're with me in the FD8, because I just walk around here in my life in a daily basis and notice, man, how can they not just want to learn all this as soon as possible so you can get to where you're happy and understand and love the life the way I do? Because for me, my highlight is every day that I get to eat, I get to train, and I got to be happy because I focus on what I love to do. That's my whole life mission every day. That's what I focus on, because I don't want to live in the past. I mean, I'm happy today. I don't want to live in the future, because I work today by being present, spending my day today. That is all I focus on. Tomorrow, the same thing. If I'm lucky, I want it like that. So I want to maximize my likeliness to wake up tomorrow and be happy that I remember today, that if I'm lucky tomorrow, I will have a day. That is so much better than to be, oh, I'm just going to try one more time, to wake up and feel that you were defeated again. Because it's life. And if you don't realize, if you never have interest, and I know you don't want to do this because you realize how much time you've lost in never wanting to learn. So it's not about money, it's not about energy, it's not about your body, it's your mind that is the stubborn part that I just don't know how moldable you're gonna be, because apparently it's more interesting to have food that will never be able to be in abundance in your life if you want to be healthy, but you have been trained into feeling that unless you can have whatever crap you want, you can't be happy. Do you see the problem? And this is funny too, because a lot of my clients love their spiritualism, they love their religion, they belong to churches or sanghas, or whatever religious practice, you keep it up. And I'm thinking, why don't you apply all those principles that are great into your work? You would be so motivated because you pray anyway. Why don't you pray for a little strength and courage and not make it about everyone else has an easier way, why not you? Because that is not how anyone in any religion, or I don't think Jesus would say that to you, but you keep on talking about how you love Jesus. What about you loving yourself for helping Jesus, right? So yeah, you gotta understand that you are twisting and turning the way to suit and toot your own horn, and I'm just for you kind of yeah, she's good in moderation. Exactly. I'm great for you in a little portion. And if you want to get something out of it, you have to be where I coach, and that is why. Oh man, the FD8 community. Whew. I'm building this up to be, so I have different kind of clients who are stronger in the community, who love to live the life with me while we do it. So we are really living the world like a club, a community where we make sure we remember what matters. We are not listening to fads. We are not new fad peoples. We are not here for a little tidbit information. We are real people who want to get to know each other. And that's what is important, that I do get to know you when you are in my life. It's the way the mind works. The ones who are around, well, they make the most noise. So I just show up in the group and see who wants to work with me to get strong results and learn faster. Then I tag team with those, and that becomes the best kind of stories and life examples, real life lessons that you can follow along with. So I understand there's a lot of people who just want to sit and absorb information, and I welcome you to do that, because that means you are gonna do what I'm fighting with you here, that nobody wants to learn what you have never perfected. And that's my big hiccup. Everyone loves to talk about how I'm so blunt and so evil and so mean and I don't understand, and how you are the one who cannot do whatever, all that time, right? But how I see it is that you make yourself your worst enemy, because you never want to admit that you don't know yourself, and you're always thinking about what is wrong with you. Meanwhile, I say nothing's wrong with you, you just don't know this, and I tell you, and then you don't want to listen. And that is nothing new, nothing about you. It's the human ignorance. It's the resistance to change. It's the fear of the unknown. It's fear of defeat. You don't want me to be right, you want to be right. I say, yeah, go ahead, be right. I just want to be happy. So for me, it's not a deal about that. You hold on to what you have told yourself, even though it doesn't work. You hold on to all things being told wrong, mean to you, shameful, all the duties, all the upbringing of how you were never good enough, you were never going to rise up to anything, all that stuff. You just keep on repeating that to yourself. So you believe in what you feel is bullying, and you don't wake up and want to think, hey, why do I feel bad when I keep on listening to bad propaganda about myself that isn't even true? But you don't have that mindset yet, because you hold on to what people tell you. You are relying on what people tell you compliments. So you are searching and thirsty for once and for all in your whole life say you're good enough the way you are. And you cannot accept that you can tell yourself that yourself and believe it, and that's all you need, because it's not enough. You are not enough for yourself, and that's my big problem here. Why you're in me, my community with me and other women, to learn this together as a collective way. That what I'm trying to do is to stop having this kind of fitness industry where it's about hating your diet until you fail, so you can be a forever easy target to get money off for diet culture and for all coaches and all supplement companies who rely on your human nature, that you're never going to figure out your nature, which I have done and for you, so there's nothing to wait for. But if you rather want to just believe in another diet dream that is gonna crash again, and you're gonna be sad, and you just want to work for nothing because you're gonna have all that work coming back again, then I understand why I'm not of interest for you. But if you want to grow and get get out of your average human mindset and to be an eagle, not a duck, because you have the choice. You're gonna be with me and understanding that my passion is a good asset for our community, that I do not quit or say it doesn't matter, they're not gonna learn anyway. I show up and I keep on leading and I keep on because I have promised to myself that I'm gonna be here for all the ones who feel that they cannot be themselves in a world because it's not the way to be and it's just hard. And to be able to be allowed to love to eat, because it wasn't like that, and a lot of people still have shame about being a woman and want to eat. So you kind of look down on that I love to eat and you're like, oh, I don't want that. Like, no, you look down at what keeps me happy. So I think you should learn my way instead. So how comes a few people are interested to, be happy with themselves, to be strong for yourself, to focus on yourself? Because you are terrified, what if that's not good enough? So you kind of want a second opinion to make sure that you can guarantee that you're a good standard in this society. Well, I don't want it to be a good standing in this society, because for me that would mean, how I see it, that you would be a fail for the future generation, including your kids. Because if this is the way to live life, to never be happy with the food, always expecting to have a little food because otherwise you're going to gain weight like a cow, to pretty much just be expired by 20 because you hold on to the same mindset all women have been trained to have. That is, you are only good until 25, then after that you're not a baby, you're not pretty, you're not young anymore, so then you kind of waste. And you hold on to that. Meanwhile, my life in happiness wasn't even started at 25. It started after 40, right? This is why you're with me in my community. I have that one place for this outlet. So what you heard today was a typical rant, a storm of my mind, that you just can ooze my passion. I can't contain it. So many times I get frustrated that why do I have to have this passion for stupidity, right? No, because it takes one to know one. So I cannot get frustrated rather than just know it's my passion. So I use my passion in my work to make the point here. If I didn't have the passion, I would just do what everyone else is doing. If I didn't care, if I didn't want to see you in the face and say like, yeah, I've been here for a long time with you, you know I'm not changing the terms or the tone depending on the tone in the world. I remember that I have my life and what I do with it is up to me. And if you do not wake up and recognize there is a tribe that sticks together to keep it fun, and if you don't realize what I'm building, which is a community, a supportive community for those who want to be more than just average, who are happy with what? Junk food? I cannot have a community that is giving, that is gonna kill people. If children are gonna eat the way you get obese and that is the way they're training, like they're gonna be so fat they're gonna give up when they're 12. And that is why also that a lot of obese people in my life as clients are just waste of my time in for them, because they are never willing to listen to an unorthodox way of nutritional coaching. So pretty much like this for me. Everyone keeps on listening to the same agenda, the same idealism, the same perfectionism, because that's how you want to believe you are going to do it. You have these dreams of yourself that you're going to be ideal. I'm saying like, why? It's bullshit. You're not going to be happy. It has no reason. You forget your freedom that you want. You forget you want to be happy because you get desperate, and you forget it's only a matter of you don't know how to be happy but in one way, and that's junk or alcohol and self-sabotage. That's not happiness. Not at all. That's self-destruction without having a plan to get out. And I'm sorry to say it, but I'm so happy to be a solitary person, a meditator, someone who loves my life for the life lessons, not for a body goal, not for being a victim of a dream body that when I look back on it, it would be like this with all my clients. When my clients say, what happened to me? I used to be so in good shape, I had an amazing body, and then I just let myself go, and I can't accept this, I hate myself for it. And I say, did you ever ask yourself why you let it go? That's crickets number one. Number two is, I ask, if that was a dream body in looks, did you actually have the dream life with that look? So the lifestyle was the same equal results with the body appearance? Crickets again. So then usually clients get really defeated and discouraged, which again, whatever is going to be, whatever goes wrong in everyone's life, it's always junk. So then you fatten up again because you have a bad mood, bad sad movement, motion, and you forgot again that you can train yourself to choose your thoughts so you can have a happy life. But again, that requires you to train, and that's when everyone says, oh, it's so hard. Yeah, to be hard takes hard work, but it's the best thing to be. So in order to set yourself free, you gotta know what you're trying to not want. You don't want freedom, so you want to eliminate food. You want to eliminate everything that you're scared of because you cannot control yourself. And then in order for you to have control, you think you should just eliminate everything that is danger. And I agree, but then you just end up there. So that's what happens. You kind of don't want to, you just want to try a little bit to see if it happens, and it doesn't happen, so you give up. So you give up because you want to have the pity party. You want to have all the junk. I know the feeling. I know how fun it is. I know that all movies are boring, but they're fun when you have junk in your mouth. And I know that is usually how easy it is to not want to be on social media, because you're just going to shut off all social media and live your junk life alone, where Pauline and the other people in the group can never see you. That's why you don't want to get, to be real on social media. You want to keep holding up that embarrassing myth about that people aren't real on social media. Well, people who are like me, who show the real you are, and you can tell, because look at my content, right? I just love my life, so I have nothing to beautify or to edit more, because my life is grand. But if you don't have that mindset, you're going to be the one who kind of just want to have the escape route, that when you don't want to be your best student anymore, your ideal self that you talk about, you trying so hard, guess what? You're your best friend, you're going to sneak away and have just one more time, a double cheat day, then start over Monday. Yeah, I know. Because how do I know this? Well, because the body and your mind. You're not happy, you don't show up and so happy, it's Monday, I'm so strong. Well, you are if you're an eagle, and if you're my FD8 you do, but not in other places. So how I see it as the leader of FD8 is pretty much an observation study there, is that people come in and come out of your life, like I said. And if you want to be a full-time life person who has the body that you say, oh, her body looks amazing. And I say, yeah, her lifestyle is amazing, because she remembers that not all day she's going to be in the mood, she's still going to get it done. Because you have to compare to other things in life. In your life and all the successes, all accomplishments, how did it happen? I'm sure it didn't happen in one day. If you have children, did you just quit after 1 month because you don't really want to do it? I don't think so. So apparently you have the strength, but you don't want to do it when it comes down to the life or death fight. Because then you always choose to live. And I agree, that's good. So what do I mean by that? You choose to live because when you are trying to live a fittest life on willpower, you're always going to power out on will, because you're not going to choose to die, which is what you're asking for if you could stay lean until forever with no problem. So the preservation of life mechanism is right there. You get hungry, you don't want to continue. So that's what you got to know, how tough mind you become. You become such a mastermind that nothing will get to you. Nothing will make you go off your path. You have the perfect guarantee that you are your own best leader. You are not giving up. You hold yourself because you're your best friend. That's what I teach you. So how are you going to teach yourself that when your friend is always making sure that you forget what matters to you? And who is that? You. So for me as a coach, the biggest challenge for me is you. And it's not your body, it's your mind. And it's not that you're stupid, it's the opposite. You're too wise. No, sorry. You're too intelligent. You run on your intellect, and you've been told that the intellect is perfect until you realize, how does the intellect work? No matter how perfect something seems, the intellect finds what is not perfect and makes that the whole picture. And if you run on the intellect as your leader in mood, guess what? How you're going to have your life? No matter what you feel, oh, today's a great day, or oh, what a great moment. It's always going to come, but wait, what is wrong? And then you're going to be a typical person who feels that you're cool for always making sure that you see what is wrong. No, it makes you a fool for not seeing that is human nature, and that is the weakness of human nature, that you cannot see the middle. You cannot see the way to have what you already had. You're always in the between the spectrums, and you kind of want to strike the balance. But if you're not practicing the balance game because you're only in it for the good days when you're naturally motivated, you're not going to have the balance. Because you can't get strong or efficient or excellent at what you're not practicing. And that also goes for all the studying of human body in training, that in mobility and stretching and care and living like an athlete, it's a continuous education. It's ridiculous to think you're going to be happy with a new book every challenge when you don't even get to read the book because you just hoard them. I keep on coming out with new programs. I keep on delivering. I'm making new lessons because I know you need it. But if you're never willing to actually learn, you're just going to have it like a hobby, like a little fantasy, and that's okay too. But at least I want you to be, for once in your life, realizing you have the solution. You have the opportunity, you have the invitation to be around people who care and not want to just have you for the money because then I don't care anymore. And if you wonder, just think about this, how much I put out to this to try to motivate you in any way. Like, if I'm gonna be the toughest love for you in your life, you better have it, because I do not care about that you're angry with me this moment because I tell you things you don't want to hear. That's my everyday in work. I still do it because I believe in why I do it this way, and I know you need it. So it's not me making a lie. I just see, look at the data. And today I posted a study about how 25% of women over 50 something in our culture are meeting the criteria for being somewhat in shape to reduce the likeliness for all the medical conditions that come from living a life your body hates, the trash can body life. So can you imagine that we're going to have a future where, this was we talked last week about the bone loss and osteoporosis and the treatments and how to interpret data and so on. But imagine how many kids are going to play games, sitting down, being obese, eating junk and not moving. They're going to have osteopenia and osteoporosis at what age? 15? So there's no bone building because there's not enough activity, and the mothers don't know that sitting on your butt is not going to help you. And why do the mothers do that? Well, they don't know any difference because that's a life you do. And how are you going to lead other people doing something you don't know what to do? Exactly, that's the problem. So I'm just having this, I love that old quote of, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's how I feel. That you are all my children, and I'm thinking about all your children, and I'm terrified about the mothership, the motherhood in the nutrition and healthy eating and training and what matters. Because if all children are going to have mothers who live like they're 20 and do not want to grow old, don't want to see yourself grow, are too scared about the body, don't want to look at the body, and you have no plan on changing your love relationship with yourself, you have no plan to love your body, you have no plan to lead your family in having a good, personal, healthy relationship to yourself and nutrition. And nutrition and diet and all you eat is the energy and the source of fuel for life. And you don't think it matters what quality of fuel of life you put in your body, and your body is what? Your whole universe. So where am I going to start, right? So, to summarize this rant, I love my FD8 community. It's an amazing place I'm building. It's based on education and wanting to be happy and healthy and be able to build momentum and change the world the way we do women together. I'm going to prove it to, myself, that I don't believe that women are catty. I just think it's too much competition. And since I'm the leader who are not in any way competing with what other women want, I think I can be like a neutral leader. That I am in no way living up to, or standing up for the ideals that this culture or your culture are saying is for us to do. I just do it my way. And that, I think it's good for you to see. That I'm so happy being myself, that I don't try to be better. I'm good the way I am. I'm doing this for myself. And I have nothing to hide. I'm not ashamed. I also know that I'm not the only one in the whole world my opinion is just one, my way is just one. But I do get it done because I do and I teach what is the problem solution, the PROBO. So my program is the problem solution. The problem is people love to eat and they can't control themselves around temptations. And when you try, you just eat more. So when you join me in FD8, and if you want to work harder with me, there are no more VIP clients because you are all VIP when you're in FD8 because I'm just one person. And as you can tell, I'm teaching in a whole other way and I'm working in a whole other way that I have an uphill battle and I do that happily for all my warriors. So if you want to help me and to be one of those who learn so you can teach other people and give that kind of rebuttal, because if you don't know how to have a debate about nutrition, keto, macros, you're always going to lose because you don't have what to say. But I know how to shut them up, so I teach you what to tell your ridiculous friends who are always on a diet and they are boring because friends on a diet are hangry and they're like grumpy bitches. And that's not the way to be. So if you're one of those, like, I'm just grumpy because I'm on a diet, you are on the wrong diet, my friend. Because nobody wants to be around people. That's why your friends say have a cookie, because you're so lame when you always cry about how you have to lose weight and someone says, who cares? Exactly. Only you care. So if you choose to be a victim for your own mind who can't accept that your dream body might not be the dream body for everyone else, and that's a problem, you're not going to be happy. But you can choose to just see what actually is happiness. And I just know that if you even have a time in your day to ponder about your body's appearance that you made by your life, and if you had children and you have a saggy butt or a saggy belly for your children and you love your children, stop blaming the body for doing what you have. So you have your family you love, so don't beat your body for producing that love you have now. So remember now to be your best friend so you can be happy. And that is why you're with me. So I have no more voice, I've talked so much, but I think I have to get this out of my chest. So it's 1 month out from FD8 community, Bill and Burn, new book, new program, new chapter. And every chapter I get better and better in my coaching because I spend the time there. I'm actually present in my relationships. I show up because if you show up, you get to know people. And I'm not in and out like a flaky relationship the way you are with your relationship. I'm committed. Because with commitment, you can trust. And when you have trust, you know you're going to get it done. There is no debate. You don't have to live being scared of yourself. Nothing is as heartbreaking as not being sure that you're going to have it done, what you want to do, that you have as a plan. To always know you're making all the plans, and typically the ultra hard crash diets that we put ourselves on, you are eating crap and drinking alcohol while making the plan. Yeah, I know, that's how you're motivated. Ooh, nothing is more fun than to talk about fat loss coming up when you're eating junk, because then you think you're gonna do it, and then that day comes when you start the fat loss, and then you go back on your word, now you're fatter than ever. So remember now, you're just human, so you're going to have the mistakes to do, and you're going to keep on messing up. You're going to know how to do it, you're not going to do it. You're going to understand exactly what to do, you're still not going to do it. Not until you come to that epiphany of, aha, will you do what you know, and now you are in peace in your mind, and that is why the body follows. So don't you want to be a part of that? The people who get off the diet and love their life? Can you imagine that in your whole life, all your friends, if you now think about ridicule and all that, just ridicule yourself a little bit, that you never learn. So you are always on a diet, and how much of a role model is that for your children and for other people? Do you think that is how you want to live until you die, to always be on a diet? When you're 85, should you talk about how your saggy skin isn't good enough because you don't look 20? Because for me, I am just looking at my whole body from top to toe, and I have just made the policy that not anymore I'm going to ever cry or complain about anything but my body. I'm just going to handle it the best I do and always love my body. And it's not because my body is perfect for everyone else. It's not. That's why I pose, so you can see that I'm not in any way perfect. I don't expect myself to be perfect. I'm just the way I am, and that's all. And I don't have to debate about it, because I know that if I were, let's say I wanted to be on a Playboy muscle Playboy Hustle magazine on the front, I would be nude. I wouldn't have the body. I wouldn't have the titties. I have fake implants, but they're still not gonna be perfect. I have my dream body boobs, but they're not yours, and they would in no way be up to the standard to be something that was to rise erections of men. So I wouldn't be eligible. So now let me ask you, that for me is a blessing in disguise. I love that, thank God that I didn't have good titties, because then I would be there on a cover and want that recognition that has no point in my life. Like, why would I care about being a sex object when I don't even want to have kids? To be a sex object is great if you want to be the fertility symbol. For me, it's the big fat hell no. So I don't want it. So now think about, that's how you live your life. You want to be a sex object, even though you don't want to admit it. But that is what it comes down to. Deep, deep down to the core, ever since growing up, you still hold on to your ideals, and you know rationally that you shouldn't feel that way. And it's so easy, and that's what everyone says. I know, I shouldn't feel like this. Like, I know what to think. Yeah, but you don't feel it. And that's the thing. You think about how you feel every day. And that's what you're gonna know. Have I done too long podcast again? Oh no. Okay, bye-bye. I had to check a few times. I was talking forever, so then I couldn't even do the podcast. So now I have no voice. Anyway, guys, if you want to be in my life, you got to be in FD8. That's where I communicate, and I'm going to go there now and drop the rest, and I'm going to share my workouts and all that stuff. But just, that is where you have your life with me. And if you want friends like me, that's where you go. The VIPs, the clients, are no more one-on-one. I don't have time for that. I got to build the community. And I rather see who shows up, because all people love to kind of talk to me in private and then kind of fade away. But I want you all to use the group community to build friendship, so you have something who you want to show up for. You use that to build up yourself to be accountable. But if it's only me, the thing is, I'm just Pauline. So you always like, Pauline loves me anyway, so that's fine. I can have the cookie. Yeah, but then you're going to be mad at me later. So go and sign up.